to the third world.
Doesn't it just make you feel all warm and fuzzy when you look outside your window and you Bruh, I'm making a video. You see some jerkwad getting towed. If I may quote the werewolves, you own a car, not the road. If you haven't heard yet, I'm staying here in Mexico City until I go back home for Christmas. And luckily, a guy by the name of Tona, who helps to run the Suerte o Muerte crew here in Mexico City, contacted me and was like, hey, you want to ride with us? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So we planned a 70-mile ride for us to do from Mexico City to Teotihuacan, the ancient Aztec pyramids, and back. And although I do 70-mile rides pretty often, I must say, riding fixed gear in Mexico, it's different. And it was hands down in the top 3 craziest rides that I've ever done. As crazy as that ride was, and as many moments there were during it where I thought, this is it, I'm gonna die. By the end of the ride, I had a ton of fun, and I thought, this is exactly what fixed gear is all about. Speaking of what fixed gear is all about, Wabi Cycles and I have a video series called 3 Minute Thursday where you can learn how to get the most fun out of your fixed gear in 180 seconds or less. You can watch 3 Minute Thursday by clicking the card above or by sticking around until the end of the video. Buenos dias. It is currently the crack of dawn here in Mexico City on a Saturday, and I was talking with some local fixed gear guys about a 60-mile-ish round trip, 100 kilometers. I should be more excited than I am now. Hopefully the ride to the meetup spot will wake me up. One of my favorite things about fixed gear riding, and something that I learned traveling and living in different countries and riding around with my fixed gear, is that no matter where you are in the world, fixed gear riders are down to ride with you. And maybe it's because fixed gear is such a niche form of cycling, but fixed gear riders, even though we tend to be standoffish and elitist online, once you meet fixed gear riders in person, we are some of the most welcoming and unpretentious people, especially in the world of cycling. In person with fixed gear riders, it's just like, you ride fixed gear single speed, I ride fixed gear / single speed, we should ride together and have some fun. Although fixed gear riders can be very elitist and pretentious online, once you meet fixed gear riders in person, you find out that we all just have a lot in common. We all just really like to appreciate nice things and nerd out about track bikes. And that's exactly what happened with Mach, the first guy I met before the ride.
Is your bike bamboo?
Yep, it's from Bamboo Cycles, a Mexican brand.
Oh, nice.
Bamboocycles.com. And it's handmade.
Yeah.
And made by Yuso. The frame was made by my hands.
Yeah, nice.
It's a really, really nice experience.
So how does it ride compared to like a steel or aluminum bike?
Do you know? You don't have lift, right? You want to try? It's very smooth. It's the
I'll try it.
smoothest ride on my life.
All right. Yeah. Do you mind recording me as I try it?
Right.
Yeah.
This is another common thing that you'll see with fixed gear riders. We will often let you ride our bikes just so that you can experience something new and we can share our love of our bike with you. Unfortunately, Mach didn't realize that the phone was already recording. He hit the red record button and cut the recording once I got on his bamboo fixed gear. That bamboo fixed gear is by far the smoothest riding bike that I have ever tried. And the fact that no matter where you go in the world, this is a common pattern that you'll see in the fixed gear scene, just makes it feel super welcoming and can make you feel like you're at home, even if you are thousands of miles away.
Hola. Buenos días.
¿Qué tal?
Buenos dias.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
How was everything?
It's going all right. Yeah, I like it here. Are you Tona?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So this is Tono. He's the guy that I was in contact with, and he's the guy that organized this ride. And when we were messaging each other, he told me that for this ride there would be between 6 and 10 of us, which was super surprising to me because even getting 6 people together to ride 70 miles at 7 a.m. on a Saturday sounds like an impossibility to me. But they showed up and they're all here. We are cruising. I'm feeling awake now. Got a healthy mix of road bikers and fixed gear riders. But we all just here to have fun. It's alright that we ride different drivetrains. And Tono was telling me that, oh, we're going to take the nice way to the Aztec pyramids. Don't worry, some of us are going to be on fixed gear, some of us are going to be on road bikes, but it's cool. It's going to be like 99% flat. And boy, was I wrong for assuming the nice way meant actually nice. But by the way, according to my YouTube stats, about 50% of you aren't actually subscribed to the channel. And we're getting awfully close to 100k subscribers, so do yourself a favor, hit that red subscribe button below and the bell icon so you can watch more fixed gear videos just like this one. Subscribing is totally free, and you can unsubscribe at any time, even after we hit 100k subs. Mexican riders, they're just built different, because the nice way in Mexico means you are entirely riding on the shoulder of a highway where cars, semi-trucks, and buses are passing you at high speeds and you are mere feet away from death. And Tono was telling me, oh yeah, you're on 4915, you'll be fine, it's 99% flat. 99% flat in Mexico City means about 1,500 feet of climbing. And because it's Mexico City, it's 7,200-ish feet above sea level, meaning there's about a quarter less oxygen up here than there is at sea level. Cars are way more polluting here because the engines can't burn fuel as efficiently. And also, a lot of times the pollution will just sit on top of the valley that Mexico City is situated in, which is all to say that a few miles into the ride, I was super gassed. And we got to a point where we had to go over this overpass that had some pretty heavy traffic. And this is one of the few times that I've been kicking myself for not bringing my GoPro, because we were splitting lanes between semi-trucks and buses, just mere inches away from getting flattened into a red smear on the highway. So this is it, I'm gonna die. And this is all while we are steadily climbing with less oxygen and more pollution, and as particulates of pollution are getting in my eyes, and I was just thinking to myself, if this is the nice way, what in the fuck is the not nice way? That's just how it is in Mexico. If you want to ride your bike a long distance, you're going on the highway and it's gonna get sketch. But one rider in our group in particular, Mach, the guy with the bamboo fixed gear, that guy is especially built different, and I actually found it inspiring riding with him. Hands down one of the most fit in the group. He's also in his 50s, and throughout the day he smoked probably a pack and a half of cigarettes. And this is the guy that pulled me most of the way to Teotihuacan and back to Mexico City. More than the drivetrain itself, fixed gear riding is a mindset where you really just have to harden the up. Us fixed gear riders, we tend to enjoy doing some pretty sketch rides. Because life is all about contrast. You can't appreciate happy moments in life unless you go through a period of suffering.
That wasn't reasonably dangerous. That was just dangerous.
We will purposefully put ourselves through hell and torture ourselves so that even riding at the very edge of a highway, being mere feet away from death, becomes an enjoyable experience. And it became enjoyable once we got out of the pollution and we're no longer riding between semi-trucks and buses with the pungent smell of a landfill filling our lungs. And I could at least see what they meant by the nice way a little bit. After the longest 35-mile ride of my life, we made it to the ancient Aztec pyramids of Teotihuacan. I'm probably butchering that name, but that's what we're going with. I got to know the Suerte o Muerte crew. Oh, gosh, that is so hard for an English speaker to say. A lot better over some lunch, and we left our bikes at the restaurant and walked around the ancient city complex as I had time to catch my breath and reflect on just how much of a blessing it is to not be a smear on the side of the road. I realized that there's a lot about Mexico that fosters what fixed gear riding is all about. A lot of the fun of fixed gear riding and what makes it so addicting is that you have an incredibly limited bike, and no matter what you come across, you have to make do with what you have if you want to have fun. And because riding a fixed gear can be a miserable experience, that makes riding with other people that much more fun, because it forces you to commiserate in each other's suffering and push each other farther and faster than you ever thought that you could go. Maybe because I'm American, which tends to be a more superficial culture, but hanging out with these Mexican riders, whether they were on fixed gear or road bikes, was a super refreshing experience to me. Although I've only been in Mexico for about a month, something that's been really eye-opening for me is that people here tend to not really care about what you have, but more so they value who you are. From what I've seen, Mexican people really know how to have a good time and to make sure that everyone else is also having a good time. And it is that aspect of fixed gear cycling that is one of the biggest things that keeps me on a fixed gear. I really wish that I could have brought you there along for the ride, and a lot of the most fun parts didn't happen when I was recording. It was just us talking over lunch, us walking around this ancient city.
This is prickly pear. You're going to demonstrate how to eat one for me. Is that one good?
Yeah, it's actually good. Look, if you peel it, it's a fruit.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, you can try it like this. Is it sweet or is it...
It's sweet.
But it really is those moments in between is what makes riding super fun. I don't know why this man is screaming, but he'll be there. It doesn't matter that you have the wrong bike for the terrain. It doesn't matter that some people in the group can't keep a steady 20.5 miles per hour over 35 miles. It doesn't matter that the riding that you're doing isn't the most picturesque and ideal for a sick Fixie edit. What really matters with fixed gear riding is getting together with some cool ass people and being open to some new experiences. This is not what I had in mind this morning. In both the fixed gear scene and in Mexico, people oftentimes just like to go with the flow and go with the experiences that brings. One of those being the ghost highway that we came across on our way back to Mexico City. The highway was constructed, but they just closed it off to cars. So what they have instead is a bunch of lanes that are just open to cyclists, runners, dogs, people playing with their kids out in this open marshland. And this was some of the nicest riding that I've ever experienced, period. Take all the lanes you want, talk to your friends, pop wheelies, sprint as fast and as far as your lungs and your legs can take you. It was one of the moments where I felt the most free on my bike. And we were able to experience that as a group because we just decided to take a different route back. Yes, that route was slower, and it did require us to do some trackless crossing and hiking. When you get outside of the tourist areas in Mexico, roads are a luxury, okay? And although it was suboptimal, it was a hell of a lot of fun.
And this is the not highway road.
I see what you mean by the highway is the nice way. We made it back to Mexico City about 14 hours after we had left. And after all of the sketch writing, the choking on pollution, the 99% flat ride, and the commiserating and encouraging through each other's pain, by the end of the ride, we really felt like friends. The crew rode with me from the ancient Aztec pyramids all the way back to the front door of my apartment. And they're such sweethearts. They even got me this jaguar whistle from Teotihuacan, the jaguar being one of the Aztecs' sacred animals, to commemorate our first ride together. But damn, we bonded together so much on that first ride that it really felt like we've known each other for way longer than just 14 hours. To the point where it even felt awkward for us to say goodbye by saying, "Mucho gusto, nice to meet you," as I hopped into one of the most well-earned showers of my life, and as the Fixie fam became just blinking red lights in the night, I thought to myself, now this is what fixed-gear riding is all about. Fixie famous shoutouts to Zane Kolnick, Ryan Waits, Robbie Andaya, Calvin Ho, Justin Javier, Julian Corona, Henry Grants, David Kay, and Brandon Black for helping to make these fixed gear videos possible through their support on Patreon. And remember that life is short, but don't make it shorter, so be sure to ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.